Hello and welcome to my guide to achieve gold in the lap time challenge for Monza using a Lamborghini Merciélago. So you'll need to get a time of less than 1 minute 53.4 seconds for the current gold time. I've done a time of 1 minute 51.252 and I'll show you how I did it. So I use manual gears and no assists apart from ABS, which I have set to weak. This car being all-wheel drive does understeer quite badly out of the tighter corners if you try and go full throttle. So try and make sure you got it in a straight line before you go full throttle out of the slower corners. So here we go. So try and get a good exit out of the parabolica, stay on the left hand side. Use all the revs, really make the engine sing. And I'm going to pick my first braking reference point about halfway between this little bit of tarmac you can see on the left hand side and the 200 meter marker board you can see approaching on the left. I'm going to hit the brakes hard and in a straight line, down the gear one by one. Try not to hit the limiter too hard, otherwise you could lock the axle and increases your braking distance. So I'm going to start to turn it in quite early while staying on the brakes and then start to ease off the brakes, and I'm aiming to cut this first part of the chicane, so I'm keeping the left hand wheels just in contact with that red, white and green curb you can see, but the raised bit of the curb is actually straddled between the wheels. There you go, you can see the position there. I'm going to come off the brakes and throttle altogether, just let it settle before I turn into the second part. I'm going to dab the brakes a tiny bit just to help get a bit of a bite on the front axle to turn it into that second part. Be careful the orange sausage curb you can see on the left hand side there. If you go onto that, then it will delay you getting on the power and ruin your exit out the corner. So just try and get the car positioned so the left hand wheels on a red, white and green curb you can see there. And then get it straightened up, full throttle, use all the revs in second, the third, and try and keep it tight on the right hand side here, but steering as gently as you can, using all the revs up through the gears, and keep it on the right hand side. Next braking point is just as I get to this 200 meter marker board you can see there on the right hand side, and again I'm going to hit the brakes hard in a straight line, down the gears one by one into second, and again I'm going to start to turn it in quite early staying on the brakes, but you can just see on the braking bar I'm using about 95% brake there, and I'm just going to start to release it as I turn into the corner. And again, I'm going to aim to cut this first part of the chicane the most I can without breaching track limits. You can see the wheels are still in contact with the curb, but the left hand side of the car is actually starting to just go onto the grass that tiny little bit. I'll take the straightest line possible to this next bit of the chicane, doing the same thing. I'm aiming to sort of straddle the orange sausage curb you can actually see there on the apex, keeping the left hand wheels in contact with the red, white and green curb. As I hit the sausage curve, I'm just going to come off the throttle a little bit so it doesn't get into a slide, and then we go full beans out of the corner exit into third. Next braking point for the first Lesmo corner is just to get to this 50 meter marker board, and I'm actually going to point the car towards the apex of the corner. Watch the brake bar, use about 95%. It's ease off as I turn in second gear and back on the power about midway through the corner, easing the car to the exit into third. Second Lesmo, I'm going to hit the brakes about just before I get to that 50 meter marker board in a straight line, turn it in as I come off the brakes. I'm only using about 25% brake there as I turn it in, and I'm going to aim to get the right hand wheels over that sort of green bit of the curb as you can see there, and then back on the power and take it as much to the side of the track as I can for the exit into fourth, using all the revs. And I'm really going to red line it here. Next braking zone is just as I get to this 200 meter marker board, or just slightly beyond it if you dare. Hard on the brakes in a straight line, and then just start to turn it in for this first part of the Ascari chicane. Just releasing the brakes a little bit. Again, I want to cut this corner as much as I can. There you go. And this next part of the Ascari chicane, just keep it on the green bit of AstroTurf you can see on the right hand side there. Just really take the shortest line possible through the corners, and I've shifted up into gear 3 to give a better exit out of the chicane. There we go, and then full throttle, cut this last part and get the best exit you can, straddle that curb but keep it as straight as you can into fourth, ease it to the left hand side approaching the parabolica, the final corner, and hit the brakes as late as you dare. I've been hitting the brakes just as I get to this 150 meter marker board, and start to turn it in towards the apex into second gear, off the brakes, let it settle, start to feed on the power, and I've been keeping it on the right hand side here for the shortest distance possible to the line. into third and go over this white line for the shortest distance, and there you have it, 1 minute 51.252. I hope you found this guide useful and it helps you to achieve gold yourself. It certainly took quite a lot of fettling around with braking reference points to really nail it. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.